Hello, Reeve here. Today we're doing a video tutorial series on GameMaker Studio 2. Now this is going to have to be a multi-part series because there's a lot of information to cover here. But in this video we're going to just go through the very basics of the UI and purchasing and all that kind of good stuff. So feel free to skip through this video to the actual next tutorial of sprites and introductions. But what is GameMaker Studio? Well, GameMaker Studio is a game making engine with a low barrier to entry for new aspiring game designers. What is a game engine? If you've ever heard of CryEngine, Unity is probably the more famous one that you've heard of, Unreal Engine 4, those are all game engines that run your favorite titles. A game needs a game engine, and GameMaker Studio is just one other variant. Now, the thing that people love about GameMaker Studio is, once again, it's a very user-friendly system. They have a drag and drop navigation system. They have a very easy to learn language. So if you're not used to programming, GameMaker Studio is exactly what you want to get started on. So now let's take a look at where to get GameMaker Studio and just the opening part of it. GameMaker Studio is made by Yo-Yo Games and is available via their website or through Steam. Now for this video series we're going to be using the Steam version of GameMaker Studio, but there is no actual programmable difference between them. It's just a different place to do the same kind of purchase. Now GameMaker Studio Desktop Edition is about $100, but you can score it for as little as $70 depending on what sale you catch it on, whether it be the summer sale or the winter sale. But once you get it all purchased and added to your cart, you'll come into your library. You don't want to go through this whole catalog of games, so we're going to go up at games and click on software, and from software it's going to be a much shorter list. We'll click on install. As you can see, I already have it put here, and we're just going to open it up and show you the main UI now. Okay, so when you first launch GameMaker Studio, you're going to have to log in. Obviously, if you don't have a login, you'll need to go and register an account. But once you do that, you log into the system and you should see this main menu. So beginning at the top, we see there is a new, open, and import. New is obviously create a new project. Open is open an existing project. And import is where you can import someone else's assets or a different project. Now below is the real kind of helpful section of this program. There's the marketplace where you can buy and even download free assets people have uploaded. You can get the tutorials from Yo-Yo Games and other tutorials that other people have made. And then there's also demo files. So if you're wanting to learn how to perform a particular type of action, how to program something, you can find it in the demo files, hopefully. Now at the top, you see there's GML and D&D. GML is GameMaker language and D&D is the drag and drop system. So where do you see these two things? Do you have to use them simultaneously? Not really. Let's go and make a new file and show you from there. Let's start with making a file for the GameMaker language. Now, while we could use the drag and drop system, that is really something for another video. I really want to go through the meat and potatoes of using the language for GameMaker Studio. So we're going to click on GameMaker language and we're going to create a folder and we're going to store our project in this folder. Make sure you use something descriptive so you actually understand what project is in this file if you intend to have multiples of them. And now that we have finally started using GameMaker Studio, once you open up your project file, you should see a screen that looks something like this. Let's take a tour and just show you what you're looking at because it can look a little daunting if you're brand new to this. So in this main area, this is going to be your workspace. This is where you're going to put your assets or where you're going to see your assets, where you're going to see your level design, everything. Now, as we move over to the right here, you see a whole list of things. You see sprites, sound, tile sets, rooms. What are all these things? Well, in short, sprites are going to be your characters and assets. These are going to be your movable players, the things in the background, all that type of good stuff. Sound is just what it sounds like. It's sound. Tile sets we'll get into in a later video. And rooms. Rooms are the level. That's the best way to look at this. This is going to be the level. So if you have 37 levels in your game, you will have 37 rooms inside GameMaker Studio. This is how everything is going to be done from here on out. This is the area we're going to be working in, and we're going to import, export, library assets, everything from this screen. Now, at the top, you see that there is the standard menu options, file, edit, view, all these kind of things that you're used to seeing in all your other programs. Under file, when we go to preferences, this is where you can make some final tweaks to how your user experiences with the GameMaker Studio. You can go through here, make edits to basically every window that you're going to interact in. I advise that you leave it on default if you are not highly experienced, but then again, experimental ways are how you learn things the best, so it doesn't hurt to tinker around. If at worst comes to worst, just reset it back to default, call it a day. Now, the other window that really matters is the build window, which is how you're going to build and export your game. This will be another topic that we cover in a much later video, as right now we have nothing to build and nothing to export. And finally, the help window. This is really, really important for you, as the help window is going to be where you can look up a lot of stuff. If you can see here, we're going to go to the knowledge base of Yo-Yo Games, and we're going to type in function. And they'll actually have a list of all the new functions that have come out for GameMaker Studio. And when you're programming, functions are really how you get all your stuff done. So this is an incredibly important resource for you to keep on hand. Always go back to it if you need it. You'll probably find your answer in here somewhere. But that's really the quick and dirty layout of GameMaker Studio. Now in the next video, we're going to go through sprites, and we're going to look at a much more in-depth detail of how to add sprites and how to start working with the GameMaker UI. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I've been Arif, and I will see you in the next GameMaker Studio tutorial. Goodbye.